Texas. Bigger roads, bigger dogs, and some of the biggest personalities in the working dog game. On this episode, we packed our bags and headed south for a three-part journey across the Lone Star State. From conformation champions in Dallas to hard-hitting competition dogs outside of Houston, all the way down near San Antonio for some serious bite work action. This trip had a little bit of everything. So let's hit the road for another adventure with Bully Maxx Sports. First stop, Whitesboro, Texas, 70 miles north of Dallas. We linked back up with Katie McCutcheon, owner and operator of The Incredibullz, a private, home-based XL American Bully kennel devoted to producing the world's premier UKC and ABKC American Bully athletes.
Welcome to Texas. My name is Katie. I'm with The Incredibullz. So The Incredibullz are a group of XL American Bullies. We mostly focus on conformation shows, but hopefully here soon we'll have somebody motivated enough to do some sports. The Incredibullz started with a dog named Marvel. He really lived up to his name. He did agility, he did dock diving, he was a conformation champion. The Incredibullz have, I've honestly lost count, but we have maybe 10, 11 UKC title dogs, champions and grand champions. We have a couple ABKC champions as well. So our goal is to produce dogs that can show and win in all of the registries. For our up-and-comers, it's supposed to be a really big year, so we're really excited about all of that. Everything's bigger in Texas, that's what they say. But Texas is just a great place to raise dogs because we might have 2 or 3 days of winter, and the rest of the time we are swimming. It's great for the big dogs, for the joints.
Last time we visited, Katie introduced us to her newest XL Bully puppy named Her. Fast forward to today, and Her is already making waves in the conformation ring, proving once again why the Incredibullz program continues to produce top-tier XL bullies year after year.
So the first time you saw my dog, All Pro Kennels Her, she was a little puppy with some big shoes to fill. Her mom is the first and only ABKC female grand champion, so we had a lot to live up to, and since then, she's 15 months old now. Since then, she has earned her UKC champion title, and she is 2 wins away from her UKC grand champion title. So I'm really hopeful, not hopeful, I'm really confident that she's gonna get that UKC grand champion.
While we were there, we also met up with Katie's friend Caitlin Hendricks, owner of Good Bull Kennels, who brought out her dog Peso for the shoot.
So we first got involved with Bully Maxx when I had Marvel, and he was doing everything, and he was just like shredded, but the food that we were using just wasn't enough. We found Bully Maxx, and Matt, who's awesome, he's been awesome the whole time, he decided that he would send us some samples. Marvel loved it, and we've been using it ever since. That was about 12 years ago. So if you look at our dogs, none of them have skin allergies. Their coats are all nice and shiny, and they go swimming in the muckiest, nastiest ponds every day. They're outside mostly, and their skin, their hair, their nails are great. The food, it helps put back what they put out during these tough exercises that we put on them. So Bully Maxx has really, overall, been great for our dogs.
Between the dogs, the structure, and the personalities, Dallas gave us one incredible start to the trip. Our next stop brought us outside of Houston to ADBA Arena, Texas, a working dog complex created by Ron and Leann Smith and the venue for a UPF-sanctioned event this weekend. If you've been around the weight pull world, chances are you've already seen their work. Ron and Leann are the owners of Maxx Performance, the harnesses trusted by handlers across the country at some of the biggest pulling events in the sport.
Hi, my name is Ron Smith, owner and operator of ADBA's Arena, employee of Leann Smith with Maxx Performance. We own an arena here that we do lots of training for all types of dog sporting events, weight pull training, wall climbing, high jump, long jump, just anything that happens to do with dogs, even bite work and training. Dogs started out as my hobby, and then like anything else, sooner or later, hobby turns into work. I started out with bite working with dogs, actually training just simple obedience. Then I started getting into bite working, and then I was searching in Europe for a dog to breed with one of my other dogs for bite work. So I met a guy over there who did lots of sport work with ADBA's arena and the DCF, which is the Dog Cross Federation. And Leann and I went over there we stayed almost 2 weeks training to see what they do over there. And then we brought that back. We met Brian Hosfeld with the UPF, and we started training seriously in weight pull. And it's kind of just bloomed and blossomed from there. I'll tell you, training is training. It doesn't matter if you're training children, adults, dogs, animals. You get to understand and you learn how to explain things. So training the dogs is not a problem. Training the people to train their dogs is the problem. One of the smartest things that was ever told to me was every dog is different. Some should have obedience first, some should not have obedience first. Some dogs, if you give them too much obedience, it takes the drive out of them. And a lot of the sports you see require drive, some sort of drive. I would say the first thing, find a reputable, as they say in weight pulling, mentor. Other things, find a reputable trainer. You know if it doesn't feel right, it's not right. So you have to kind of find somebody that trains the way you agree with, because there's 1,000 ways to skin a cat. You just have to make sure that your personality fits with theirs. And if you see somebody doing a franchise dog training thing, don't do it. Meaning, not all dogs are the same. And never, and I mean never, board and train your dog. You need to be there because you are the one who does it. So we have people ask us all the time, can you keep my dog for a week and teach it to jump? Yes, I can, but it won't jump for you when you come back. So that's kind of what I would say. Every dog is different. You can't just do a blanket term and say, I would start here and start there.
This event had it all. 2 full weight pull competitions, slat mill races, lure course action, and one of the crowd favorites, the wall climb. This was pure working dog energy from start to finish.
The harnesses, how I got into the harnesses was we needed some harnesses, and a lot of the top makers at the time had quit making, and we couldn't find a good harness. And he was like, well, you make custom ball gowns for our students, you know, it can't be that hard. We started playing around and trying to make harnesses, and it took a lot. And then finally got the hang of it and figured out the formula and what we needed to do. We actually have a client, one of my students, that is an actual rocket scientist. He works for NASA. I sat down and talked with him, you know, what's the best way to do this? I'm not going to give away our secrets, but he helped us with that. And I built a harness for my dog Major, and we went to an ADBA Nationals, and Brian Hosfeld was there. And he was like, where'd you get that harness? And I was like, well, I made it. I asked Brian if he could allow me to make a harness for his top dog, which was Max at the time when he was first starting. And I said, let me send you a harness and I want you to test it for me. And hence the reason it's called Maxx Performance is because it was Max, the one that basically got the whole thing going. I would like to thank Bully Maxx for coming out to our event this weekend. And for you guys to be able to document all of it. I would like to thank them for sponsoring with all of the bowls. We had a lot of fun with that. Everybody wants the bowls. So I'm very grateful that you guys came out. I'm grateful for everybody that came. We had people from Canada, Kansas, Pennsylvania, Maryland. Everybody made the drive, and that just warms our heart that everybody came down. And for those that didn't come down, you need to come down next time, because we had a blast and it's so much fun. Just come together. We're one big family, and hope to see you all next time.
For the final leg of the journey, Travis and Cassidy welcomed us out to their facility outside of San Antonio, an all-in-one training compound built for serious working dogs. From conditioning equipment to training areas, every part of the property was designed with performance in mind. But they didn't stop there. The crew also took us down to a nearby river where the dogs cooled off with a swim and showed off some impressive bite work in the Texas heat. It was the perfect way to close out an unforgettable road trip.
I got my first dog from a buddy I played baseball with. He had really nice dogs. I thought they were big pit bulls. They definitely weren't. They were Peso Canarios. Got linked up with one. I was surrounded by a lot of good dog people that also had Pesos.
So my dad, he bred and trained personal protection dogs for a living for 18 years. So I started with that. And then I wanted to find like my idea of a perfect personal protection dog, which was, I was around herders, I was around all different breeds, but the Peso just like really did it for me. And with that, I ended up showing up to a dog show and I met this guy over here. I'd never even been to a dog show in my life.
Yeah.
And that's how we met.
I love weight pull because not only it shows the strength of the animal, but form follows function. So if you got a functional animal that can pull a lot of weight, you obviously have a good conformation dog. If you don't have a good conformation dog and think you can weight pull, dogs gonna fall apart. They have to be
Conformationally correct.
very correct, like built for tough.
Conformation to me was very like, oh, it's show dog people. You know, we tried to kind of avoid them. But once I was more into the show, I realized how important it is because I learned more about canine anatomy and the importance of it when it comes to functionality. And as long as you have to have shoulder and rear angulation to have good reach. And without good reach, you're not gonna pull as well, you're not gonna run as well. There's gonna be a lot of issues that'll fall that is so important within show. So everybody had a stigma that show meant, oh, I have this pretty dog. But at the end of the day, it really means I have a dog that follows the standard properly, and it means that I have a dog that's functionally and conformationally correct.
So I don't want dogs getting too bored with their workouts. If I do the same thing, we're working out all year for the end of the year for the national weight pull. So if I'm doing drag work after drag work after drag work after track work, it gets boring for the dogs. So I mix it up, I put them in the water, I let them have a good time. I let them cool off. I'll do a couple drag workouts. That'll be half my week. And I might finish it up with a little carpet meal for the end of the week. Put them on the track, easy peasy. I'll give them a good win. And it's all about building the dog slowly and making them more comfortable to the track. You just slap them on the track and expect them to do it, they don't know what the heck they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Being able to have people that are so competitive and still want to help us, that's a big deal. Erica pulled us to the side and was like, hey, let me help you with this. There's gonna be drama everywhere. There's gonna be upset people. There's gonna be people that don't like what you do or that love what you do. And at the end of the day is just don't pay mind to it and go find something that you love and just be happy doing it. And as long as you put your head down and you just focus on what you're good at and doing well at it, then you're in the right spot.
My dog's put on 10 pounds since I started feeding Bully Maxx, I tell you that. And it's not fat, heavy news.
Yes.
It's solid, strength.
I think the big thing that I like from the studying that I did with Bully Maxx is how much it focuses on building muscle. Like it truly does. If you dive deep into the ingredients.
You can look it up.
And it works. Like not only do the ingredients say that it's gonna work, but for the little bit of time that we've been on it, like our dogs look great and they're gaining just a ridiculous amount of muscle, way more than what they had before. So I definitely would recommend it, especially if you're trying to, bulk up your dogs.
Workouts with diet goes a long way.
Yeah.
Well, folks, that'll do it for another Bully Maxx Sports on the Road adventure. Texas brought us incredible dogs, unforgettable people, and non-stop action from start to finish. But we're not slowing down anytime soon. On our next episode, we head to Dewey, Oklahoma for an ADBA event where we'll reconnect with some familiar faces and meet even more top-of-the-line canines competing at the highest level. Until next time, catch us for more grit, more grind, and as always, more Bully Maxx Sports.